Yo, what's up everybody? So I'm at Costco right now. I just got my membership literally like an hour ago, and I wish I got this thing a long time ago because this place is incredible. So it's actually put me in such a good mood that I'm gonna get my groceries, cook, and clean my apartment. So we'll make that happen. So I did not know that Costco doesn't have bags. I wish I had known that, but I didn't. And they didn't have boxes either, so I was gonna have to carry everything up the stairs. And I think that's the only thing I don't like about living upstairs on the second floor. But oh well, it is what it is. You know, honestly, this has been one of those weeks that I've been extremely stressed out and tired, and I think you know, it's good to just remind myself that where I'm at is great right now, you know, and how grateful I should be. I'm telling you, you practice gratitude, and life is a lot better that way, rather than looking at the negatives all the time. And if you're stuck around negative people all the time, it's really easy to get sucked up into that mentality. So every now and then, just try to isolate yourself and take some time to reset. This is why my video this week is late. If I even post one at all, I don't know yet. But I just needed that time to just relax and catch up with things, clean up, reset my brain, and you know, make good things happen. And that's what we do, right? One day at a time. I'm gonna take Mr. T out to go skate again, just like my last video, which you can go check out. Guaranteed to put you in a better mood. But anyways, I walk in here and this place is a disaster. It's like embarrassing. But on a brighter note, Mr. T was here waiting, all smiling, and you know, all happy, so puts me in a better mood automatically. So once I get done skating with him, I'll come back and start cleaning up. Back at our favorite spot. You know, skating is so much fun. Like, it's almost therapeutic, you know. Me and my friends used to skate when we were little, and it's kind of like a part of your childhood. And anytime you got a part of your childhood still, you know, it's a great feeling. So the point of this video is actually to, you know, share something that's at the deepest depths of myself, because it affects my relationships, it affects my outlook on life, it affects the choices I make every day, and that is bipolar disorder. And the reason why I want to share this is not because, oh, I want to talk about myself, but the main reason is to, like, you know, hopefully give some people some insight. And, you know, I'm sure a lot more people have it than statistics show, because it's not really talked about, it's not really known about, it's not diagnosed much. So I hope to, you know, reach someone and help them know that they don't have to deal with it by themselves, you know. It's almost embarrassing to talk about, but I think it needs to be talked about. Because the point of my channel, like I said, is for us to learn to love ourselves and be honest with ourselves. That way the world can be a better place, one video at a time. Before I get to all that, we're gonna finish up skating here before the sun goes down, and then I'm gonna go home, and then we'll discuss it while I'm doing some therapeutic cleaning. So, without further ado, we'll finish up our skate session. I should have probably changed the battery. So, every single day, I take a mood stabilizer and an antidepressant. If I don't, after a couple weeks, I'll almost literally go crazy. And this medication will be a part of my life every single day for the rest of my life. And I say these things not for pity, but just to let people know that there's some things that you can't clear up all on your own. And there's some things that, you might possibly never be able to 100% clear up. But point is to just keep on going and find motivation in daily life and let it become a strength, not a crutch. So even with my meds, every other week I struggle with either manic bliss or depression. I've experienced depression to where I'm like stuck on my couch and I can only be awake for like 5 hours out of the day. Like I just physically cannot stay awake. I've lost 10 pounds in just like 1 week. Suicidal thoughts swarming my brain, feeling every ounce of gravity just pushing me to the ground. I can physically feel it, like a negative energy just creep over my body, and I'm filled with just hatred and contempt towards the world. I don't want friends, I don't want family, and the world will just be a much better place if we cease to exist, because we're sick and we can never be healed. And on the other hand, I've experienced manic episodes where I'll get up and I immediately start working on music, finishing an entire album in less than a week. I love my friends, I love my family, and I love myself and the life I have. And I want to do all I can to help humanity and future generations because there's an undying hope that I have. I feel that God is beside me and I'm filled with radiative positive energy. I have a mission in life and therefore a purpose, a reason to feel that I do deserve to exist. So now, as embarrassing as it is, I want to share what I wrote down about how exactly I felt in the moments during one manic episode and one depressive episode. And this is back when I was living on my grandma's couch back in I think February or March, but I wasn't taking my medication at the time. So I definitely felt these effects 100,000% and I would not recommend it. But anyways, what does it feel like? Here's a journal of episodes after 4 months off medication. I'll start with manic. This is the first time I've truly felt manic in a while. My medication was definitely suppressing it. Right now I feel my hands are tingling and warm and I'm ready to write everything down. I feel the need to write and think at 1,000,000 words a second, and my hands can barely keep up with my thoughts, causing a bunch of grammatical errors. This is the only reason I'm writing now. I feel the need to keep busy. I brushed my teeth, reorganized my suitcase, cleaned out my grandma's backyard, washed dishes, did laundry, worked on some music, emailed the VA about my medication, and called Therapy Pet to renew my emotional support letter for Mr. T, just in case I get this job and have to move on. All this in one day, and it's only 4 p.m., so I plan to do much more. Physically, I feel the energy is almost like anxiety, but it's a positive feeling, like a state of manic bliss, which is what manic is. I'm playing upbeat 80s J-pop, which is Japanese pop music, which elevates the mood. My body just moves on its own and takes care of what I need to do while my mind checks off everything off that list and pushes me towards the next task. I'm filled with nothing but positive thoughts. Every negative thought that attempts to come up is quickly swatted from my mind. I'm so warm that my hands are sweating. It feels like taking pre-workout or being on ecstasy. I just feel I need to get my ish together. So that was a manic episode. Now it's time for a depressive episode. I'm napping every day in the middle of the day. I feel so tired that I can't stay awake even though I sleep until 12. I'm not showering or even brushing my teeth some days because I just don't want to do anything but lay down. I'm in an extremely irritated mood. I tried to express it to my mom and then my grandma. I don't want to talk to people though, and I just feel so hopeless and worthless. Like I failed all my goals and my ambition is crumbling. My therapist said it was usually during manic episodes when people spend money, but for me, it's the opposite. During depressive episodes, I feel some sort of temporary relief from retail therapy. I'll buy electronics or apps and use them for a day and get bored. The gym helps because of the pre-workout, but when that wears off, I'm back on the couch again. One thing I can appreciate about depressive episodes, especially when I'm on my medication, is that I'm more introspective and interested in learning. That's the time I try to think and understand myself and the world around me. During manic episodes, I just live and experience, but all the time spent laying down on the couch too tired to move or interact allows me to just dive into my thoughts. When I'm taking my medication, the thoughts are generally more existential, but when I'm not taking them like now, I become extremely nihilistic. So you can see this kind of stuff can affect your day-to-day life. And those weren't even the worst of it. It was just one day that I decided to write down on each one kind of how I felt in that moment. But despite all this, since I started taking medication, it's a little bit more manageable. I can feel when a downward spiral towards depression is happening, or when a launch into a manic episode is starting to happen, so that I can prepare. I use these episodes as my advantages, not as an excuse. If you feel like you relate to any of this stuff that I'm asking you, Please do not build your entire identity off of it. Don't let it become a crutch or an excuse when you know you're capable of doing what you need to do. And this is the most important part that I want to drive home. And this pertains to everyone that has, whether it's bipolar, just depression, anxiety, ADHD, whatever. We all feel these things. We all experience these things. It's hard to talk about these things because no one talks about them still. Your parents don't believe you have it. Society tells you that you're weird or you're, strange, but everyone's messed up at some point. And we all seem to think we're the only ones, but that can be very dangerous. We all want to feel noticed and be different at some point in our lives. And when we don't get this attention, we attempt to attach our identity to things like this. We try to convince ourselves that no one could possibly understand, that we're unique and special through our suffering, and we should seek pity and attention for it. But here's the problem. This drug that we call attention is highly addictive. It leaves you immobilized, empty and unfulfilled until your next dose. Without this validation, you're just empty because you don't value yourself. You depend on someone else to provide that value for you. You latch on to anyone that gives it to you until eventually they see through your self-absorbed negativity and they call you out on it. And then you deny it, and you double down on your stance, and you cut them off too. The more this happens, the more you reinforce these patterns in your head, and the further you sink into a dark and lonely place. This goes for any form of depression or negativity. I say all these things because I felt this way too before at one point in my life. This is why depression can be so addictive, and this is why sometimes it's so hard to climb out of. Why doesn't anyone notice or care that I'm suffering? Well, why can't you notice or care that other people are suffering too? And the only person that can help with your unique case is yourself. You're the only one that can choose whether you're gonna buckle under the pressure and fall into that lonely abyss, or if you're gonna choose to stand on your own 2 feet and carry the weight of existence that we all share. It's as simple as that. And I really believe that we can start making the right decision and start working together for the benefit of everybody. So real quick, in regards to my channel, as I mentioned, I do have bipolar disorder, and sometimes I'm gonna wanna put out some serious content like this one. Sometimes I'm just gonna wanna put out stuff like me skating with my dog or hanging out with friends in LA. One thing that I always complain about is that it's super hard to be consistent with bipolar disorder because, one day you're up here and then the next you're down here. So, it does affect your mood, but either way, I'm gonna be productive and I'm gonna keep posting on this channel. So I apologize right now if someday everything's all happy and adventurous and the other day things are just educational and kind of depressing. I hope you'll stick around for it anyways. If you do like it, like and subscribe. It helps out a ton. I really hope to reach people because when I make videos like this, I think about people that I care about. And also I think about my younger self, someone who was extremely lost, extremely depressed, like seriously depressed, no direction, extremely negative. And I wish I could just go back and talk to him as the man I am today. And that's what I'm trying to do in hopes of reaching younger people, because I'm sure that we can all see it. Younger people right now are lost. We're all lost. We don't have a direction in life. Most of us don't have a purpose in life. And I feel like if we all just found that direction and that purpose, then we'd be golden, If that sounds like something you want to be a part of, and that sounds like something you want to support, consider helping it out. I would really appreciate it. It took me a week and a half to record this section when I'm sitting at the computer. When I took my dog out and went to Costco, that was like a week and a half ago. It's just I've been putting it off in my mind because I've been hesitant. But sometimes we gotta do the things that we're kind of anxious about to make our lives better, But anyways, thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much. And if you made it this far, I really appreciate you. Leave a comment on any kind of topic you want me to talk about next, and I will be glad to. So you guys have a great, blessed day, and I will see you next time.